Famous First Ladies, written by Linda Johns. What does a First Lady do? The First Lady of the United States is the wife of the President. Being First Lady isn't an ordinary job. First Ladies don't get paid. First Ladies also are very much in the public eye. This gives them the chance to talk to many Americans about causes or projects they believe in. Over the years, First Ladies have worked hard to help the poor, improve the environment, schools, and libraries, and enrich the lives of thousands of children. Do you know? Question. When a woman is elected President of the United States, what will her husband be called? Answer. The First Gentleman. Some First Ladies are better known than others. Many famous First Ladies have been more active and outspoken than the rest. This book is about 3 of the most influential First Ladies. You are about to meet Eleanor Roosevelt, Jacqueline Kennedy, and Hillary Rodham Clinton. Do you know? When George Washington was president, people weren't sure what to call his wife, Martha. One day, a crowd greeted Martha Washington with shouts of, "Long live Lady Washington!" Shortly after, the term First Lady began to be used. It was added to the dictionary in 1934. Eleanor Roosevelt. President, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Year elected, 1932. Years in White House, 1933 to 1945. First Lady quote, "No one can let you feel inferior without your permission." One of the most powerful First Ladies was Eleanor Roosevelt. Her husband, Franklin Roosevelt, was president during a difficult time in America. They moved into the White House during the Great Depression of the 1930s, when many people were out of work. They stayed through the mid-1940s, when the United States was in the middle of World War II. Singing in Washington. In 1939, the famous singer Marian Anderson was supposed to sing at Constitution Hall in Washington, D.C. However, the group called the Daughters of the American Revolution, who owned the hall, banned her from singing there. Their reason? She was African American. Eleanor Roosevelt resigned in protest from the group after the display of discrimination. She then invited Anderson to sing at the Lincoln Memorial, where 75,000 people saw the concert. Millions more heard Anderson's beautiful voice on the radio. Eleanor worked hard all her life, even though she was born to wealthy parents. She worked as a reporter and as a humanitarian, giving to people who needed her help. She was the first First Lady to travel all over the world. She shared her experiences with President Roosevelt, and he learned about the hardships people were facing. She went to visit soldiers in war zones in England and the South Pacific during World War II. She met thousands of injured soldiers and spent time talking with them while they were recovering. Eleanor Roosevelt was the first First Lady to become heavily involved in politics. Because of her involvement in world affairs, she was known as the First Lady of the World. In 1945, her husband died of polio, a disease that he had suffered from during his presidency. Jacqueline Kennedy. President, John F. Kennedy. Year elected, 1960. Years in White House, 1961 to 1963. First Lady quote, "There are many little ways to enlarge your child's world. Love of books is the best of all." Jacqueline Kennedy grew up in New York. She loved riding horses and continued to ride throughout her life. She graduated from Vassar College. She worked as a photographer for a Washington, D.C. newspaper. Publishing would always be a part of her life. Jackie met a young man named John, Jack Kennedy, in 1952. He told her he would be President of the United States one day. A year later, he was a U.S. Senator. They married in 1953. He was elected president in 1960. The Kennedy family moved into the White House with their two children, Caroline, who was 3 years old, and John Jr., who was just a baby. When Jackie Kennedy was First Lady, she invited all of America to see the White House. A CBS television camera crew followed Jackie Kennedy on a personal tour of the White House in 1962. She worked to restore the White House as a kind of museum, sharing its rich history with everyone. The First Lady also promoted arts such as painting and dance. Americans came to love Jackie Kennedy for her style, sense of fashion, and gracious manners. In 1963, President Kennedy was assassinated. Jackie's courage during the tragedy won her the admiration of the world. From 1978 until her death from cancer in 1994, the former First Lady lived and worked in New York City. Hillary Rodham Clinton. President, William Jefferson Clinton. Year elected, 1992. Years in White House, 1993 to 2000. First Lady quote, "There cannot be true democracy unless women's voices are heard." Hillary Rodham was going to law school at Yale University when she met a law student named Bill Clinton. They married after law school and moved to Little Rock, Arkansas. Hillary Clinton worked as an attorney and taught at the University of Arkansas Law School. Bill Clinton also taught law and later was elected governor of Arkansas. For 12 years, Hillary was First Lady of the state of Arkansas. As First Lady of the United States, Hillary Clinton worked hard for better health care for all Americans. She made speeches about how important it was for children to have immunizations. She helped raise money for health projects. President Clinton asked Hillary Clinton to lead the task force on national health care reform. She was the First Lady to have an official government position during her husband's presidency. Many people say that her time as First Lady was more influential than that of other First Ladies. She did a lot to shape her husband's policies and didn't work behind the scenes like some other First Ladies. In 2000, Hillary Rodham Clinton was elected United States Senator from New York. She was the first First Lady elected to the U.S. Senate. In 2009, she became the U.S. Secretary of State. She is the first First Lady to hold that office as well.